CBS 11 News investigation. We uncover allegations about a dangerous form of punishment that put fatigued Marines on North Texas highways. It's long been known as a death drive. And CBS 11 investigator Robert Riggs joins us tonight with his exclusive report. Robert?
Tracy, in the small central Texas town of Jewett, a heartbroken mother mourns a dead U.S. Marine son. But unlike families that have lost sons to hostile action in foreign combat zones, Del Murphy believes her sacrifice was pointless and avoidable, and that it has hurt rather than served America.
I've lost my son. Someone else is going to lose their son. My son was proud to be a Marine.
The mother of 26-year-old Sergeant Billy Lowry says her son's death would be easier to understand if he had died in combat. But the Marine recruiter was killed in an auto accident now under investigation by the U.S. Marine Corps. The deadly accident last December resulted from a dangerous form of punishment called a death drive, according to Marine sources.
It's senseless. I mean, there was no need. It was a Monday night. You know, it was 3 days before Christmas.
Sergeant Lowry's so-called death drive started in Little Rock, Arkansas, early on December 22nd, with a 5-hour drive to the recruiting station headquarters in Dallas.
I've been in the Marine Corps, well, it was right at 9 years, and this is probably the most senseless tragedy I've personally ever seen.
A former Marine recruiter says Lowry was forced to wait until late afternoon, then chewed out for recruiting problems, then put back on Interstate 30 for Little Rock. At some point, a recruiting assistant on the round trip with Lowry took the wheel. A Texas trooper's accident report says the driver of the van fell asleep. Lowry, who was also apparently asleep in the reclined front passenger seat, was thrown out.
He was tired. He really did not want to be a recruiter anymore.
Sergeant Lowry's mother says the Marine started trying to drive her son out of the Corps shortly after he reported to recruiting duty a year ago. She says her blonde-haired, blue-eyed son was a registered Native American Indian. But she says Lowry did not fit the profile Marines expected for recruiting among Native American tribes.
They were very shocked, and I mean, he said when he reported for duty, you know, that was the very first thing that was mentioned. It was like, "You're not Sergeant Lowry, you know, you're," and he was like, "Yes, I am."
And that's when things started to go downhill for your son.
They wrote him, and they wrote him, and they wrote him.
In this internal Marine Corps memo obtained by CBS 11, a Marine Corps recruiter in Arkansas expressed anger for what he called frequent death drives, pain drives, and suicide drives to Dallas. He stated that the drives are used as a form of punishment when recruiters don't perform. Sources say that on Thanksgiving Eve of last year, 7 Marines, including Lowry, were ordered to make a so-called death drive from Arkansas to here in Dallas for a grueling session of physical training. They were being punished because they had not signed up enough new recruits. They ran 4 miles and up a steep hill near downtown Dallas. According to the memo, the command then made them all drive back the long distance in a very dangerously fatigued state.
Fatigue is just like putting a drunk driver behind the wheel of a vehicle.
Dallas attorney Todd Tracy is a legal expert on the cause of traffic accidents. The Marine Corps says that during a recruiter's 15-hour workday that it's okay for them to drive up to 10 hours plus do strenuous physical training. Does that sound safe to you?
That's a recipe for disaster, because that person that's done that, they may get away with it once or twice, but if they continue to do that routinely, there's going to be a crash involved.
Lowry's mother says that someday she will have to explain to her grandson that his proud Marine father died in a senseless tragedy.
It's got to stop. Somebody else is going to get killed. My son is one too many. Another one is totally senseless.
A Marine Corps spokesman declined to comment or permit interviews about the death drive allegations until 2 investigations are finished. This morning, in the wake of CBS 11's investigation, 2 Marine recruiters who had been outspoken critics of the death drives were relieved of duty in Little Rock. A Marine spokesman says it was for conducting a fraudulent enlistment and that the conclusion of a 5-week investigation now was only a coincidence. The recruiters were unavailable for comment, and neither were sources for this report.
I know a good deal more will be coming about this, Robert.
And you can read more on our website at cbs11tv.com.
Okay, Robert Riggs, thank you.